And I'm glad to say that we have a couple of questions in the chat for you to answer. So Tala Delgadillo is asking, is there any chance this kind of programs can be developed and implemented in Latin America?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a great question.
And this was very much one of the reasons for wanting to participate in the BBELT conference, because we believe that what we have in the development of this program, thanks to the British Council Vietnam, is a blueprint for programs that can be run around the world. Vietnam just happened to be one country with which we worked, but we can change the material to be pertinent to the host country or countries. So I'm not sure which country you're in, Tala, whether you're in Mexico or elsewhere in LATAM. We'd love to work with you. I think, Tala, you also had another question about the materials which we developed. Harry, can I pass on to you to talk about how we went about developing the materials for this course, but also how teachers can use their own course books, which we thought was crucial.
Oh, absolutely. You can hand over to me for anything, Neil. Do you want to put yourself on mute for a second, Neil, if that's okay? I think there's a bit of background noise in there. Thank you. So yeah, the materials, yeah, we had developed them prior to the course, but obviously we wanted it to be pertinent to Vietnam. So we did do quite a lot of research into the issues that were in Vietnam. And of course, that absolute key for me as a teacher trainer is to make sure it's as easy as possible for teachers to get involved in climate crisis education. So connecting it to the course books that the teachers had was vital. So giving our teachers, our participants, the tools to be able to adapt their materials was key. But again, I did ask before we started the course, could they send me the units that they were currently working on? Could they send me the books that they were working on so I could see what they were doing, so we could make sure the course was as useful as possible to them?
Awesome, thank you, Harry. And there's another question also from Tala. How much time did you spend on training teachers for this project?
The whole of the project was designed to teach trainers, master trainers and teachers to be able to integrate the topic into their own teaching. So they had 1 hour a week for a total of 10 weeks.
And then also, sorry, Neil's got a bit spotty there, so I'll jump in. They had an hour a week. They had an hour a week, and then they had work at home as well.
Awesome. So 10 to 12 weeks, an hour a week.
The joys of connecting on the move. I'm not sure if you can all hear me. If not, Harry, if you would like to carry on answering this question.
I think the connection is a bit unstable. But we get almost all information.
Exactly. So yeah, it was an hour a week of face-to-face, as it were, and then after that we had between an hour and 2 hours of outside work. But then there was loads. For me, the biggest thing was the interactivity through Jalo. So there was loads of like moments here and there throughout the week. So let's say their session was on a Thursday. You know, they would have that hour on a Thursday, but throughout the week there would be messages coming into the group, and we'd be sharing ideas with me, with the facilitators, and with the other teachers as well. So to put an actual time on how long we work with the teachers, it's impossible to say, but I would say over those 12 weeks it was somewhere between 12 hours and 50 hours, depending on the teacher, depending on the amount of work they could attribute to the tasks.
All right, and then we have another question in the chat for you. Do you know any English series for high school students based on the UN SDGs?
I'd first of all, in answer to this, like to recommend a book published by the British Council, which actually goes into a whole series of tasks that are linked to the SDGs. I'm not familiar with a specific course book that deals with the SDGs only. I'm a great fan, as I know Harry is, of project-based learning, and I would actually encourage you to use project-based learning as a framework for working with the SDGs. But Harry, is there anything more that you'd like to add?
Well, I don't want to blow my own trumpet too much, but if you check out renewableenglish.com, you'll find that Series 2 is based entirely on the SDGs. There are materials there that the students can use, that the teachers can use, and there are 16 separate lessons. There aren't 17, the last one is 2 together. There are 16 individual lessons that the students can log into, they can check out, and it is all completely free.
Amazing. That was going to be my next question. Like, how can we get in touch with you guys? So, yeah, the ad is on the social media, is on the chat. So, please, audience, make sure to click on the link and go to the social media. Okay, so the last question we have is, I think there are teachers trying to be agents of change on the matter of climate classes in their own schools, but are faced against particular school contexts, such as facing colleagues' difficulties with the topic. How did you get the teachers to sign up? Did they have difficulties to share it with their colleagues? Did all teachers apply their action plans?
If we could answer that in 2 parts, I'll talk about what we did before the course started, and then I'll hand over to Harry for what we did during the course. So we wanted this program to have maximum impact because it was all about cascaded training. So we actually specifically, with our partner in Vietnam, Kanaki University, asked to recruit teachers, trainers who had an existing commitment to the topic. Of the 32 teachers who completed the task, 31 had action plans they have already started to implement. In terms of what we did to maintain their interest in the course, I'll now go on mute to hand over to Harry.
Yeah, and what you mentioned there, what the question involved was the resistance that comes up. One of the particular units that we talk about, one of the particular sessions we had, was all about those barriers that we have to overcome as teachers with, our students, with administrators, with parents. So there was a whole part in there to equip our teachers with the tools to break those barriers and make sure that climate crisis education wasn't a difficult thing to do, and it was something they could easily implement to their classes.
All right, unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you, Harry and Neil, for this great conversation today. Audience, please join us in the next concurrent session. Thank you.